Welcome to the Crypto Campfire.
Hello, is it them you're looking for? Mitch and the Professor, featuring special guest Amina Motala.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Campfire podcast. This is the Professor.
And Mitch.
And today we've got Amina Motala on the show. Amina is dedicated to spreading adoption of cryptocurrencies and awareness of blockchain and other related projects. Before we start getting into Amina's story, let's go ahead and get the crypto news from the Crypto Gent.
Thanks, Professor. Hello, Crypto Campfire listeners, and welcome to the cryptocurrency news in a flash with the Crypto Gent. British regulator FCA prepares a potential ban of crypto CFDs for retail investors. Crypto exchange Bitfinex repaid $100 million to stablecoin operator Tether. UK financial watchdog grants license to London-based crypto asset firm. And Bitcoin falls to under $10,800 as US stock market sees minor downturn. That's the cryptocurrency news in a flash with the Crypto Gent. And it's back to you, Professor.
Thanks, Crypto Gent.
Okay, so what do we got new on the chopping block today, Professor? We started a giveaway. The winner was announced on Monday, July 1st.
Congratulations to the people who won the t-shirt and the flip-flops and the extra prize, wink wink.
Oh wow, that was so cool. That was actually exciting. Our first like real giveaway. You know, you need to really send me some more stickers. Let me just leave it at that.
You want more stickers, huh?
Yes, please.
We'll get some nice die-cut stickers made, and maybe we throw a few of those up on Twitter to maybe the first few people that comment or something here when that happens, and we'll start sending out some stickers too.
I say this because I still owe somebody a sticker, and I feel horrible because all my stickers are gone. Oh
no!
So I want to follow through with my commitment to this young man. So you know, as soon as buddy, if you're listening, as soon as I get some more stickers, I still have your address, and I will be sending you a sticker, sir.
Oh yeah, we'll get those coming. Maybe we'll send him a couple.
Heck yeah. So this is definitely going to be an exciting week for us. It's really honoring to have Amina on the show. I met Amina face to face the first time in Jersey at the meetup, and it was really off the hook. I mean, the energy, and you know, you could sense the passion for what we do, and it was really cool. I think it was a very productive meeting, and you know, everybody there was just so amazing, and I'm still reeling from the effects of meeting so many positive and down to earth and just real people. It was crazy. It was absolutely
crazy. I'm so jealous I didn't get to go.
Oh my gosh.
I gotta watch all your videos though, but I'll be there in St. Louis.
Yes, sir. Yeah. St. Louis. That's going to be off the hook as well.
Definitely.
We will never go solo again. So that's like a pretty tough commitment, but we're going to figure it out one way or another.
Absolutely. Well, I haven't had the pleasure of meeting Amina yet, but I've kind of followed her on Twitter a little bit, and the constant presence and the constant dedication to trying to spread the word of crypto is absolutely amazing to me. So I'm really looking forward to this podcast. Amina, it's great to have you on the show. Welcome.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Pleasure.
Yeah. So why don't you start off maybe by telling us a little bit about how you got into crypto in the first place?
Sure. First of all, thank you for having me on your podcast. It's such a thrill and an honor because I see all the different people in the space that you have on here, and I'm just thrilled that you've asked me. So thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. So I started out to be more accurate. I wanted Bitcoin the very first time I ever heard of it, which was way back when in probably 2013 or something like that. And I was sitting in my little office at my other home and saw this thing on the computer, and I thought, what is this? Heard this little story, and it was some anonymous person. I still don't think I even heard the name Satoshi Nakamoto, but they mentioned something about two people in Winnipeg, Canada that are anonymous, perhaps. And I thought that was very peculiar, but I still like the concept of it. And I just heard this voice come through me and it said, "This is it." And I don't know what that meant, but I knew I needed to get some. And I actually didn't get any until years later, but I kept thinking, how can I get some? I searched online, I looked for ATMs. I heard about an ATM in downtown Ottawa. That's where I reside in Canada. And I kept thinking, okay, I'll get downtown, I'll get to an ATM and I'll buy some Bitcoin. And I think what happened was I was so early in it and I really didn't have a lot of tech experience. And if I found it kind of difficult trying to find how to buy it. And so I waited and life took over. Of course, a single parent, many years, very, very busy. I went back to school. I kept thinking, oh, I have to get Bitcoin. And finally in 2017, I bought some. And when I did, I went through probably what most people, of course, go through is, just the whole process of figuring out how to buy it. And I started with Kraken, the exchange, and wiring money there, and took 12 days. And I thought, oh my God, this is really hard. But
the frustrations.
Yeah, it was so frustrating. But I did it.
So worth it.
I persevered. Like there was never a moment where I didn't want to buy any. Never a moment where I didn't want this. I always knew, and inside me, a very strong feeling that nope, you got to stick with this. And I need to reach out with people. I need to meet people. And I found that just being at home and searching YouTube videos and, all that was great. But I needed to actually talk to people who were doing it in real life, in real time. And so I reached out on meetups. I was looking and there was nothing active in Ottawa, but somebody else wanted to start one, said, why don't we do it? So we did in a little bar downtown at Roosters. We would all, get together around this table, order a beer and chat. But we ended up just chatting continuously. Everyone was excited. So remember, this is in 2017. I started in August. I started meeting people in October. So there was a bull run starting. So there was a hype, there was an excitement. And it was just every 2 weeks we were meeting, actually. So then eventually that other guy and we split up and he went off on his own and I was invited at Collab Space where I do my meetups now and I was offered a teaching room there. So ever since then, I've been doing a meetup there bi-weekly and it's been just an incredible journey.
That's so awesome.
Cool. Heck yeah.
That's like the most beautiful thing of the crypto space is that the ability to like meet so many people and so many friendships that come from this is incredible. So much of us are focused on bringing new people in. It's not one of those things where you just kind of hide out with your own little hole. I mean, okay, now there's that part of this. I will give you that. There's that part of this where we all, we hang out with our own little selves. But at the same time, this is one of the few industries where going out and finding all these new people is actually important. And so in doing that, you meet all these new people and it's really cool that you're running your own meetup. How was your experience in getting that started?
I think when I did it with the other gentleman downtown, I noticed what people were looking for. He did his own thing. He was more technical. I really wanted to teach safety, just the basics, and invite people to talk as well. I always tell everybody, it's our meetup. It's not my meetup. And I just evolved. Like I realized that there are people who looked up to me and saw me knowing information that where I thought I was so new at this because really, again, not very high tech, but they thought I was. And I didn't realize that. I think I second guessed myself in this. But when you're passionate and you really love something, you persevere and it's not like you don't feel like you're working. Like there's a joy in it, right?
There's energy found in it. You find just this ungodly energy that you were like, where did this come from? Where did this excitement come from? Where did this fire inside come from? Right? Is that not like all of it right in a nutshell? I mean, the fire inside is just like, oof, it's like this inferno and you just want to be with other people to let them feel that fire, let them enjoy it with you. And that's I think what really draws us to this.
Agreed. And my old friends, I tended to probably bore them. And I don't socialize with them as much. I feel like I haven't lost them. They're good friends, they're good people, just different interests. And I've really, dove into this full force. But some of them are so supportive, and I'm creating a new world for myself. I really am. And even my kids, they asked me to invest in Litecoin for them. They're Litecoin hodlers, and good for them.
Nice.
And that's,
Nice.
yeah. And they each gave me their money and last year, and they don't bother with it. They don't ask. They don't want to know. They get it. They see
It's
it
a
early.
good thing because they're wrecked.
Right? Exactly.
No, don't ask right now. Give me a couple weeks. You're good.
Talk to me next year.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, I would say, "Oh my God, look at this, look at that," and then eventually, like, the bear market went on so long. I was like, I can't talk anymore. They don't even want to hear
Mom,
me.
how come you don't show us anymore?
Yeah, exactly.
You don't need to know.
Nothing to see here.
And then it
For
was
your
like,
own damn good.
Exactly.
Right.
It was like, I think Mom's crazy. It's like, well, maybe, but
Yeah, maybe just a little bit.
maybe
We
a
all
little.
get that though, don't we? Everybody
Oh,
my
looks at us
goodness.
like we're crazy,
Oh yeah, yeah. You're crazy.
But then again,
Yeah.
if people don't think you're crazy, at least a few people don't think you're crazy, you're not doing this right.
Exactly. And I
True.
don't care what people think. And I speak so confident. When I really love something, I'm very confident about it. And, I might not say everything right. I make mistakes. I don't claim to say that I know this is
What?
100%.
You're a human? Stop.
Well, we can't have you on this show anymore. I'm sorry.
I know,
We're gonna have
right?
to end this.
It's artificial intelligence only on here, so
Yeah,
they don't
seriously.
make mistakes.
Yeah, seriously. But it's like, I don't even know if what I'm doing is 100%, true, what's happening and what's going on. Who knows? I know
Right.
what I feel. I know what I feel in it, what my perception of this is to me. And that's all I can do. That's my part in it. So, but it's been fun, like the journey, meeting people. I mean, in Twitter, crypto Twitter, I mean, the interaction you have with anybody. Like I have, chatted back and forth with Andreas Antonopoulos. What the hell? He's asked me what a beaver tail is in Canada.
That's awesome.
Here I am explaining beaver tails to Andreas. It's like, this is cool. And that's the McAfees, the same thing. Like I was able to reach out to them, and they're amazing people. They're so interacting with the public. And John was, I mentioned to him back, I don't know when, earlier in the year, beginning of the year actually, but we were interacting all through the fall of last year. And I said, hey, let's have Janice on. I would love to have her on my, do an interview. I don't interview people, but I figured I could do that. Why not? And I said, let's give Janice the light. We don't get to hear from her. And he loved it. He thought, this has never been done before. Like Janice has never been interviewed. She's never been, I don't know if she's ever been asked, but she's never been interviewed. So we did it. And
Awesome.
yeah.
I got to look that one up. I got to go to the
cool.
archives and look that one up.
It was cool. It's really cool.
Well, I must say, it was really, when we did the McAfee episode, it wouldn't have been the same without Janice. It was like...
No, it wouldn't have. Well, it was all about Janice.
Well, that's the point. It was the Janice and John McAfee podcast for a reason. But
yeah.
But John's got some crazy stories, and he's got. But we know most of this, right?
Mm-hmm,
but Janice has such a crazy start from the very beginning. She's gone through so much, and she's such a strong-willed and determined person with such a really genuinely good heart.
Mm-hmm.
And when she speaks, she's so passionate about what she is speaking about. And,
what she believes in, sure.
Right, exactly. She sticks to her beliefs, and she is 100% with everything she does. And it's a rare thing these days, and I just love talking to people like that. That's kind of the whole point of this podcast, is to try to find those people that maybe they don't get interviewed all the time. Because I think those are sometimes the more interesting people, right? They've got more to say or more experiences just in a different way.
Right. Yeah. And Janice she has a voice. And what I noticed when I interviewed her, like she was, if you go back to my YouTube channel, you'll hear it. And she was new at this. She told me she was nervous. I said, I'm nervous too. I don't even do this. And you could hear it in her trying to speak a little bit and answer questions. And since then, that voice wants to come out. I could tell. I was like, she needs this. Like, she's got
Well, you
something to
broke
say.
the shell. You broke the shell. And, being that she was never interviewed before, it was all that experience. And I mean, it's just like anything after your first time, you're like, I got this. That was awesome, and especially for
Yep.
her. I mean, kudos to that woman for putting up with John's shit.
Yeah.
I mean, God,
Oh,
you
no,
you
John
want to
doesn't
talk
have
about a
shit.
strong, whatever. You want to talk about a strong woman. Lord have mercy, and there's something to be said about that saying, behind every successful man is a strong woman. And this is so true.
Not behind, beside.
Well, okay, yes, I said that. I said it the way I've always read it, not the way I think
Yeah.
it. Don't
Yeah,
walk in
for
front of
sure.
me. I might not follow. Don't walk behind me. I may not lead. Just walk beside me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, it was a pleasure to have that moment with them. And they said to me, let's do this again in the summer because it was winter, and let's do this when the weather's nicer again. So I'm going to do it again, and definitely looking forward to it. So very exciting.
Definitely looking forward to that. We got them coming on again. We're recording with them the day after we record this one, and then it's going to be released on July 4th. But
yeah, it's awesome. Say hi to her for me.
We will. We
will.
Certainly will.
Hi, Janice. My sister. We call each other sis. My sis.
She's such a sweetheart. She really is.
Yeah.
I got a lot of respect for that lady, for sure.
Yeah.
So, what kind of blockchain projects are you working on at the moment?
Well, so where do I start? With a lot of the influencing stuff, I got involved with Coin Lotto, and that's been a lot of fun with these people. We call it the Dream Team. They're amazing team, amazing support, very positive. And the reason I joined them is because I'm not one to buy a lot of lottery tickets. I mean, sure I have in my life or gambling or whatever, but I feel like there's such a need out there with the world that are, lottery purchase people who buy lottery tickets and gaming. And there's so many of those people, and they shouldn't be ignored. And I think it's a great, it's all about helping adoption for me, and also the team behind it. They're fantastic. So it's certainly a great way to onboard to cryptos, and the fact that they offer a free ticket to $1 million worth of crypto it's just these great different games that they offer. And so I just feel like it's just another way to help adoption, help cryptos. It's international, which is unheard of, right? This is all new. International lottery, worldwide. The other one is
crazy.
the light, right? Isn't that crazy? Let's think about it. Like, yeah. So
we're not in Kansas anymore.
No,
it's everywhere.
everywhere.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
And that's one of the coolest things about crypto too, is it's everywhere.
Yeah.
So
now, Coin Lotto, they sponsored a race team, right?
Yeah. So they were in a NASCAR race, which was in Chicagoland in Illinois. And Corey Lejoie is the driver, so number 32, and he raced yesterday. A lot of fun. I don't know if you got to see any of that on Twitter.
I did.
I saw a few pictures, but I didn't get to see much about the race.
Okay. Well, I guess they had rain. There was a storm that came through, so it got delayed, I believe, but they did go ahead with the race. And I don't want to say, but what he came in, I think he came in like 30. I don't know, 37th or something like that. I don't know. Anyway.
It's awesome. Still out there spreading the crypto word to everybody in the stands.
Yeah. I mean, Coin Lotto was written all over the car, and they had a big banner thing. It's huge with Coin Lotto and in the pit or somewhere. I don't know where it was exactly. and they had Magic McAfee written all over the car as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Cars are always, I've been a mechanic for a long time, along with being a computer guy. So cars are always an exciting subject for me. So
cool. Yeah, I love fast. I love speed. So this was right up my alley when they told me about it. It's pretty excited.
Goes right hand in hand with the blockchain space, doesn't it?
Right?
This thing moves so fast. It is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's crazy. Cool. The amount of new projects that appear out of nowhere and then actually turn into something in such a small amount of time just blows my mind.
Yeah.
The speed at which people can build these things is crazy.
It's unreal what's happening. And it's part of that human collective consciousness, I think. This is my own perception. Because you tap into it and you intuitively, or you feel it's moving fast. And you know that people are trying to create and be that one to be the creator of whatever, So, like, for instance, I'm working with some of the projects you asked. One of them that I recently went down to Dallas and I met with the Petersons, who are the creators for the debit Visa card. And this is the new card they created where you can load your BTC onto the card and you can use it anywhere Visa is accepted in the world. So it's basically something to, if you want to spend your Bitcoin, it will change to fiat. That is what the card uses for, but then it allows you to use it anywhere. It has a QR code on it, so you can use that the QR code with your QR wallet. And QR wallet, you're able to also scan any debit card and convert that into a crypto card. So it's very
that's
cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, very, very cool.
Is Visa actually endorsing this? Are they behind it, or is this something that I don't know. Can you explain that a little bit?
Visa works with the bank. So the bank is working with, so the KYC is very minimal. There's a very minimal KYC to this.
Okay.
I believe you can just use your name, your email, and your address, and the address can be a PO box number.
Right on. So technically it's like a prepaid Visa, but you're using crypto to pay for it. Yes?
Yes, you load it up with your and it has the QR code is what's very cool about it. It has the QR function that you can use. So you can go on an exchange and you can buy crypto with it.
Oh, wow.
So that's a cool feature because I use BitPay for my crypto debit card. It does similar things. It can't turn another debit card into that, but it's a similar thing where you just you load your wallet and then you can transfer it over, but it doesn't auto convert when you make a transaction. You've got to switch it over to dollars manually, and then
correct.
And it doesn't have a QR code on it, which is would be immensely helpful because I've always you got to go into your BitPay app and you have to pull up your wallet and you have to copy your address. Or I know I could be more efficient and have a QR code if I wanted, but it'd be sweet to have it on the card. That would save me so much time.
Yep. And as far as we know, there is no other card like this. Will there be? Sure. I mean, and as they, like you said, people are working really fast in this industry. Well, this team is truly amazing. Like they are creating nonstop, and I know it'll just improve from here. Everything that they're creating. So they created Magic McAfee, the trading portal. So I don't know if you've seen that at all or heard about it. So it's a trading portal where you can connect to multiple exchanges. They have automatic bots that will buy continuously. So to multiple exchanges and multiple cryptos simultaneously. And you don't even have to be on it.
Nice.
So it's very cool. So this is the kind of stuff that they're building. There are memberships to something like this, of course. And then they have a practice mode, which is really cool. So you can go in there and you can practice. You can ask for however much money you want and practice buying cryptos and practice your trades in a safe manner. So then it gives you that ability to have that. And they have like Kraken, TradingView, all these different exchanges on there that you can enter interact with. So that's kind of cool. And then they have a shadow feature as well, where you can shadow pro traders and make trades that they're making.
Yeah, there's a lot of simulators out there and stuff like that, but I've never seen any that have a shadowing feature like that where you can, and I've not really looked for this, so maybe I just haven't found it, but I've never seen anything that's got that. So that's kind of cool to be able to follow different people and find the ones that you like and the right trading style and stuff too.
Mm-hmm. And as far as I know, there isn't anything like that. So
yeah, if there is,
really
I'm not
trying to
heard of
be.
it, so.
Yeah, they're really trying to be on the cutting edge with everything. So that's what I'm really thrilled that I was able to introduce John McAfee to the Petersons, and be the one to bring those two together. So I know that they're very grateful for me for doing that, and they have told me that, and they're creating so much more together. And John just loves David and said he wants to be all over whatever David does. So I'm really happy I could do that for them, see what they can create together.
Heck yeah.
Right. That's awesome. So,
Yeah.
so Amina, tell us where are your plans on moving to? I hear you're going to be moving, relocating.
Oh, yes.
Do you have a place in mind?
Well, here's the story.
Ooh, this is a good one.
It sounds like
it. So where I am right now, I moved here temporarily because I had sold my home on a waterfront property. I was on a lake where I raised my kids, and I was there for 18 years. Loved our home, a single mom for most of those years, actually. And it was time that I needed to move for many reasons. Physically, it was demanding, and financially, it was burdening me. And I'm here temporarily, and now I'm about to move again. And for the first time in my life, I do not know where I'm going. I don't know.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. And trust me, I've been very settled for a long time in one place, and mom
She's
and two
got that
kids.
gypsy spirit going on now.
Oh my
It's time to hit the
God.
road.
You're going to be a traveler. That's awesome.
It's crazy. I don't know what. Yeah, I'm just flying with it. I'm like, yeah, so what? See what happens. I mean, I have a place I can go to, and yeah, crypto. Finally, I was talking to her, and she said, she was telling me she was gonna, sell her apartment or whatever, close it, put everything in storage and hit the road. And I thought, oh my God, I would love that. I don't know why.
The adventure would be sick. If you have nothing tying you down and you have a way of financing that adventure, it would be the opportunity of a lifetime. It really would. And who knows what tomorrow brings for all of us, really. We're so early in this, and we are all so passionate, and we have so much love for the adoption of this thing that we've come to believe in, this thing that we've come to think and expect and assume. I don't know if that's the right word, but to believe that it's going to change the future of currency, and which in turn could change so many things and so many structures that could potentially be such a positive movement. Be a part of that at such an early time is just so wow. It's almost like humbling to think I'm actually in the forefront. I'm actually helping to lead this movement in my own little way. It might be insignificant, but at the end of the day, it's still a positive move and still a positive voice for this movement.
Well, you're not insignificant in any way whatsoever. You just said it. We're in the forefront, and we're doing something that's extraordinary at extraordinary times. It's surreal. It is humbling, because you have an awareness, and I think we are the visionaries. If we see something at this stage, we have to be. I mean, we're so early in it, but we see it. So
exactly. Well, just like, back in the days of the early internet and the .com boom, it's like they're right in the same place where we are, but with different technology. But they didn't have the tools yet to do the things that we're doing, like right now. The ability to interact was not severely limited, but compared to what the internet provides, they were just getting started on building this whole technology that allows us to do what we're doing now. These paradigms stack up on each other and lead to the next one. We're just building whatever that tool is for the next paradigm that comes down the road in 20 years. I wonder what it is. I wonder what it's going to be. I can't wait.
I wonder too. It's 20 years. Imagine right? 20 years ago.
Think about the last 20 years.
Yeah, exactly.
In 2000, where were we? I got my first smartphone in like 2007, 2008, and it wasn't very smart. I tell you that much. That's like when the iPhone first came out, and of course at that time,
phone.
Yeah, I was like coming right out of high school. I couldn't afford an iPhone, so I got an old used Palm Trio, basically PDA with a phone built into it. So it's like,
oh right,
that was like 10 years plus ago. 20 years ago, my parents were driving around with a bag phone in their car. And now we've got computers in our pockets. It's crazy.
Yeah, crazy. It's
crazy. See, the cool thing is Amina and I are real close to the same age. So we remember all of those things prior to your time, sir.
Right.
Exactly. Like the old round dial phone, or I remember having to actually dial an exchange to make a phone call. Like a Tyler exchange was in Michigan.
Right. See, that's like where my cutoff is. Like rotary phones weren't popular when I was a kid, but they still lived in a few places. They were like, I would say CRT TVs, but even those are pretty much gone now. But yeah, that's it. It was, it was the old telephones. And so, I played with the rotary phone, but yeah, I never got to call the switchboard.
Right. We've seen a lot of things, haven't we, Mitch? That was,
oh my goodness. Yeah. I mean, the first Star Wars movie, I was like, I know my dad took me to the theater and we seen the first Star Wars movie together, and it was amazing. I was just like, I was so transformed at that time. It was incredible.
Or Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I mean, that was just
my goodness. Yes, that was crazy. See, but the difference was, I think we grew up on TV. Like, you probably remember, what was that, the Tales of Eddie's Father, or the old TV shows that you used to watch.
I watched Black
with Mr.
and White
French
TV
and
shows.
Buffy and right, but you remember All in the Family, right?
Yes.
Or you remember the one? What was the one with Mr. French and Buffy and Jody?
Oh my gosh!
Oh my goodness! There's so many. I'm sorry, I'm going off on a tangent here.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I love to reminisce about old times, and
oh yeah.
It was such a different life back then. Really was.
Totally. So different.
And there wasn't as
everyone
much.
related. We all watched the same shows. We all laughed at the same jokes. We all had the same Coke glasses in our cupboard.
We all went and played outside.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We all had orange laminate in our kitchens, and orange shag carpets in our houses, and green.
And if we
remember the old green stuff.
We still had some old green and orange shag left in my parents' basement when I was a kid. That shit was terrible.
Yeah.
It's
great. True. We could relate.
Wood panel
we
walls.
all could relate. Oh my God.
Creedence Clearwater was top 40 every day. I mean,
CCR should be top 40. CCR should be number 1 all day, every day, forever. I don't care what anybody says.
And Queen. Back in the day, and the Beatles.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So they should all be number 1.
I love.
Classic rock is where my heart lives, though. Now you're speaking my language. I might not have been around at the time, but that's what I grew up listening to.
Or when the Ice Cream Man actually played the Ice Cream Man tune, and not rock and roll coming down the street.
Right. Yeah, seriously.
I used to take off running after that Ice Cream music.
Yep.
You hear that shit coming from blocks away. You run inside, grab your quarters, or.
I remember my mom would throw money out her bedroom window. I remember that. It always reminds me of the Eddie Murphy sketch.
What?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Money
Mom, throw out some money.
Yeah, we lived that. I remember that. It was like, Mom,
the ice cream is coming.
That's awesome.
Totally.
Yep. Eddie Murphy was the bomb.
One time we had the Ice Cream Man. I hear the bell, the music, and I took off running, and I ran faster towards that Ice Cream Man than I ever have in my entire life. So it goes to show you something. Number one, that I like ice cream. It's a different world. Yeah, the kids were outside. Like the fact that I was outside to where I could hear the ice cream man.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
that doesn't happen anymore. Like Euclid was talking about it. It's like there's no kids on the street. It's just quiet. Everybody's inside on their video game.
No,
It's funny. I
worked-
was listening to that today.
What were you listening
About
to?
not. I was listening to our podcast with Euclid and Tamara. I have this thing about listening to our podcast because most of the time when we're doing one, like now, you don't really get to absorb the guest like you would like to because you're preoccupied with thoughts of, okay, what's the next question, how do we keep this rolling in this direction, or we try not to do that, but you have to have some kind of forethought on what's going to happen next. And that being said, it's challenging to stay 100% focused on the conversation at hand. So I like to go back through and actually listen to them, and it's crazy how much stuff I actually pick up that I missed the first go round. So yeah, I was listening to that today about, the kids, and I was driving through this neighborhood going, yeah, there is no kids out, and it's like a gorgeous day. I don't get it. So yeah, I didn't mean to go off on that tangent, but
No, it's
I can relate to what what was going on.
Yeah, it's actually
it's true.
it's weird.
It is weird. I work in a school board, and I remember sitting in a grade 6 classroom, and I said to all the kids, so it was like a Monday, and I said, how was your weekend? And everyone said, yeah, it's all right. Did you go outside? No.
What's that?
I said, not one of you in this classroom went outside all weekend. I think one person put their hand up. And I was
Really?
just, it's just like, I said, get outside and do something, anything, like grade 6.
Yeah, I got 3 boys, and I kick them out of the house all the time.
Good.
I'll let you play your video games. I'm not going to cut you back on that. I'll let you be in the world. I'm not going to isolate you from technology, but go outside and do something and leave your phone inside. God damn it!
Get creative.
Go out there, dig in the dirt, collect bugs. I don't give a shit.
Use
Just
your
go outside.
imagination.
Get in trouble.
Yeah.
Whatever. That's what
Pretend.
happens. Learn things.
You know what?
Experience things.
Go outside, fall down, learn how to fall.
Yep.
It's okay.
Right.
Yep.
Absolutely. There's so much creativity and imagination going on out there.
Yeah.
And I think that's, I think that might be, it is a different world. And I think that might be a lot of the, challenges that we face in the upcoming years, is that so much of the youth has really lost that ability to think outside the box in regards to, real life applications. Well, it works on paper and it works on the computer, but it doesn't work out here. And it's like, that's because there's a difference. And I think that we've lost a lot of that foresight for the kids of today, because they're not outside. They're not playing pretend. They're not, using their imagination in that kind of a manner that is just playful and exploring and having fun. And it's really, really a shame as far as I'm concerned, because they're missing out on so much. There's so much to absorb outside.
Oh, yeah. They're missing out, period. Yeah.
So if this wasn't already a tangent, let's send it a little further. It makes me wonder, right now, we're all coming into this with some sort of a background in the world we're used to. We all have our person-to-person communications is still like a real thing for all of us. None of us grew up only ever talking to people on the internet. But as education progresses and things like this, from a technological standpoint, that's going to be more and more a real life situation where you have a lot of these people that probably won't ever interact with people on a very frequent basis. And it makes me wonder what implication that's going to have on the technology going forward from there. Because right now, we have all of us with this experience that we're trying to put into the tech that we're building. We want to keep those ethics in, and we want to keep the personalized feel to things in a way. But going forward, it's going to be really robotic in a lot of ways. So it'll be interesting to see how
it's going to evolve
tech
its way
changes
out
really fast. Yeah, it's going to be scary in a way.
It is.
Yeah, it seems like they want robotics. They want people to be robotic. The DNA is changing, is it not? In each generation, that's my understanding.
A little bit at a time.
It is. I think
even
they just
want
me,
blind followers.
Well, yes, hasn't everybody wanted that since the beginning of time? Everyone who wanted to have some sort of control. That's what they want, is blind followers. And so does that just mean that this becomes easier to accomplish?
Yeah.
It makes you think about the Truman Show right?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
You know, that movie with Jim Carrey, that was pretty freaky, and you
Hmm.
know, there seems to be a lot of lateral connections with that show
Yeah.
today.
Well, and that, the
Hmm.
blind follower concept goes right into, Orwell's stuff, Animal Farm and
Hmm. Yeah,
1984.
exactly.
And yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
I actually I did a book report on Animal Farm in grade 2.
really, in
Is
grade
that
two?
in grade 2?
Wow. So
I
I got to
know.
know, what was your interpretation of it in grade 2? Were you on the same level of what he was trying to convey, or was it like a totally different?
Well, I don't really know. I don't really remember. I mean, it was at a level of, obviously a grade 2 individual, but I did have some emotion and some empathy, and I did have comments like that written in there. And I know the teacher, she responded by saying, "Well done, excellent report for such a difficult, a very difficult topic that I chose."
Awesome.
And I didn't know, I didn't see it that way, but I must have, as a child, must have felt something on some level.
That's cool, though. I mean, Orwell did such a great job at really laying that concept out. It's kind of cool to see that even a second grader could kind of pick up on that concept, because it's a really deep concept that a lot of adults can't even grasp these days.
Mm-hmm. I know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of weird though. I'm always that weird one. Aren't we all the odd ones in this space right now?
It seems like it, but I think that's because,
It seems
there's a
like it.
different type of thinking. There's, like you say, there's people that like to be the blind followers.
Yeah.
And I think you just kind of have that in your blood, I'm guessing, and so you don't have that, and so you kind of picked up on that.
You do. You have it in you. Like my grandfather was a freedom fighter in South Africa in the 60s, and I grew up with amazing stories growing up with family, just so many things about my family in South Africa and East Africa and Kenya. So and just type of, I guess, who I am. I don't know. Just we're all who we are. And it has to be, what you're made of. There's a level of that for sure. I mean, I've been told many times I'm an ancient soul, and I don't know what that means, but I'm always, I can sit with the old people at any age. I could always do that
And you
hang
can
out.
hang with the young people too. So
Yeah.
that's the cool part, right?
Yeah,
We can relate to
exactly.
both sides of the coin, and that I think is what you know, makes us unique in that sense. I see you a specific way, Amina, just from what I've learned about you and what I've witnessed about you from meeting you face to face. So I
Hmm.
have a question for you. Would you consider yourself, because I know what my opinion is, and I'm
Hmm.
curious to see if I'm right, but would you consider yourself a hunter or a gatherer?
I think now in my life, I'm a hunter.
Bam! I had
That's what
that
I would have
shit.
guessed.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So I would say
Cool.
let's take this back to crypto, but hell with it.
Yeah.
Right.
How would your
The
life
hell
be
with crypto.
different if spiders just wanted to cuddle instead of running away from you?
If spiders wanted to cuddle,
Yeah.
how would my life be? I'm not sure how to answer that.
I'm not sure either. That's why I asked you.
And your questions are just such shit sometimes. I swear to God. I'm over here dying. I can't even hold it back anymore. What the hell kind of question is that shit? I'm like, wait, yeah, come here, little spider. Come sit with me and keep me warm. You're God.
That's
Oh,
what I
you're
thought
a
when I
big
was
wolf
typing.
spider. Come here.
Well, here's a story. You want to hear a story about a spider coming
Yeah,
over
go for it.
beside me
Yeah.
wanting to cuddle? Okay.
There we go.
Oh yeah.
This is real. It really did, actually.
That's better than a political answer. I like it.
Perfect.
Go ahead.
Perfect.
So I'm really good friends with a gentleman by the name of Douglas Cardinal, and he's a world-class architect, actually. He designed one of our most visited buildings in Canada, which is the Museum of History, which used to be called Museum of Civilization. You have to look it up.
Cool.
This building is extraordinary. And he designed it by the shape of like walking and seeing the snow banks with the drifts of the wind and the shapes of the curves. He's all into curves. There's no squares on this building. It's incredible. Nice. Anyway, so he has a sweat that he does every week on Saturday, usually Saturday, over in my old neighborhood where I used to live, just in the rural parts of Ottawa. And anyone's welcome to go. And I, of course, really wanted to go. He's an elder as well. extraordinary man. I thought, yeah, I definitely want to do this. So we went and did this sweat with him, and that was extraordinary in itself. And while we were inside, he'd made the sweat out of willow branches. So it was very cool. And when we were in there, he said, if these snakes come in, don't worry about it. Don't panic. They usually come when we get started and get into this. And sure enough, these two little gardener snakes came right beside me, came right up, kind of like they're standing up and kind of hovering and looking, and just hung out with us. And so did the large, I think they're called wolf spiders, but they're really, really big. Mm-hmm. Came right in, sat in right beside me, hung out for quite a while, and I didn't know it. And I had rolled on it, unfortunately. And that's what happened to him. But it was cool. Anyway, it was attracting nature, and that's that experience of mine. So I cuddled it, but then I squished it.
So long story short, spiders shouldn't try to cuddle people. It's not going to end well for them.
Maybe. I think so.
Oh my goodness. Note to self, don't cuddle with Amina.
See, you learn something from stupid questions.
Yeah, right? No, just
see? Here we go.
My goodness.
There's no stupid question.
There isn't. There really isn't. You know, just crazy ones. Crazy questions are always fun.
Yeah.
You know, so one last question, Amina. Okay. What is your favorite token if you had to pick one?
Oh boy, my favorite coin? I always say this, and I've always said this, so I'm going to stick with it. And it's not to say I don't like Litecoin. I love Litecoin. I think Litecoin's amazing. I'm going to say Bitcoin.
There you go. Nothing wrong with that.
Bitcoin's a grandfather, and I stick with it, and it's the one that's led everything. So it's not about use case and speed and any of that. It's Bitcoin.
Right? Almost
originality.
It's almost nostalgia in a way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I've seen a lot of questions, always posted on Twitter of what would you call Bitcoin in 10 years, or what's Bitcoin going to do in 20 years or whatever. And usually my answer is it's going to become a collectible.
Yeah.
It's, better use cases and better tech will come out, and computing power will become powerful enough to hack the original BTC blockchain and things like that. So it'll eventually get phased out, but it's always going to have that nostalgia for us, right? Like it's always been the first.
It's the grandfather. And, who knows where we're going in our lifetime, and not just in our lifetime, but beyond my life, if money will even be used. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, who knows?
Well, that's the thing. Like, we can't even imagine what's going to happen in our lifetimes. Like, anything could happen. Anything could happen. So we just got to live in the now. We've got to think about the future and just try to have the most positive impact on it that we can.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And having you on this podcast today was a good start.
Oh yeah.
This was incredible. So thank you so much for joining us today, Amina.
It was awesome. Thank you.
It was an honor to have you.
It was an honor to be here. Thank you both so much.
Yes, we'll definitely have to have you back on again, and maybe we'll have the pleasure of meeting in St. Louis if you happen to make it there. So.
Oh, for sure. Love to. Be awesome to meet you guys. Yeah. Yeah, I'm down.
It's going to be crazy. Awesome. Good. Look forward to it.
Thanks,
you have yourself a great evening. Oh, wait.
Okay,
thanks for wearing the Crypto Campfire t-shirt.
Yeah.
I forgot to say it. Thank you so much. That was amazing. I seen your little video yesterday, and you were wearing a shirt, so I was like, oh my God, look at that, and then I see Lisa, Litecoin Lisa and Nana and all my friends wearing that t-shirt when I see them on camera, and it's pretty awesome. So thank you guys, all of you, for that.
It's humbling to say the least.
You're welcome. Thank you for the t-shirt.
It is.
Thank you, guys.
You're welcome. All right. I had to get it out. Sorry. All right. Bye-bye.
No worries. Bye, guys.
That was awesome. It's like fresh air, It's like refreshing to have different people on the show that bring totally different experiences, totally different points of view, totally different life lessons, really, if you think about it.
Yeah, everybody's coming from all sorts of different places, and we're not just focusing on executives from companies, so we don't just get that one tunnel of people. We get from everybody all over the place and all sorts of different industries and different backgrounds, and you end up with some great life lessons, like you said. Like don't cuddle with spiders, things like that.
Yeah, right. That's always important. And before we forget, I would like to throw out a big, huge thank you to the Crypto Gent for our crypto news segments. And I want to reiterate, the big appreciation that we have for you, Crypto Gent, and for putting those in our podcast. It really brings a whole new level of excitement to the podcast. I think I don't think it would be the same really without it.
I certainly love hearing it at the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, because news is cool and all, but the news gets boring. But he keeps it interesting.
But the way he does it.
Yeah, like, I don't want to sit there and listen to news for 5 minutes, but if you can blast it all at me in 30 seconds, then I'm in. So, yes.
Right, and he does it so well.
Exactly.
He does it so well.
Exactly. And while we're doing shout-outs for people who are helping with us, I should probably shout out the wife, Hippie Nerd, for
always
doing the intros for us. She's the voice you hear at the beginning, welcoming you to the podcast and introducing our guests. So, with a little bit of effects added to give her that nice, sexy robot sound.
We also got to thank the mixing guy. He does an amazing job behind the scenes. We're not going to say who he is, but the guy is amazing. He doesn't want to be known.
He makes mistakes sometimes, though, so we're gonna have to
That's
give
right.
him a boot once in a while.
No, he does just fine.
It's just sometimes we just stop the music a little too
early
and whatever. All good. I mean, that guy sometimes makes that mistake. What did I tell you earlier? Right. He's like, I don't give a shit if this episode's over. We're just going to keep talking. Let the music finish. We're just going to keep going.
Right. And then we keep going after it's gone, and it's like, oh, are we supposed to be leaving now?
Nah, we'll just keep going. No big deal.
Guys, this has been an incredible podcast with Amina. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Today, whatever time it is when you're listening to this, I never really know, but thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate your feedback. Having constructive feedback from you guys is definitely a bonus. It's nice to know what you all think, and because we're still learning, and ultimately we want to form this podcast into what the people want. We want to continue to give you what we're doing, and hope that you continue to be captivated by it, because I am when I listen to them, and it's silly, because I'm the one doing it. But so the feedback is always appreciated.
Like you say, you just don't get that same engagement level. Like, you have a great conversation and all, but sometimes you can't just get lost in what they're saying like you can when you're just listening to somebody. And so when you listen to it back, you can kind of get lost into what the guest is saying and really take it all in and really comprehend what they're trying to get across. And so, I mean, just like watching a movie for the second time, for different reason why you get that.
You see so many different things, right?
Yeah, it's just all, stuff you missed. So it's really exciting. And
after the sixth time, you're seeing all the technical mistakes.
Right, exactly. And then after that, you're starting to see the things that the producers put in as Easter eggs. And after that, you've lost your entire mind. So go home. But
go home.
or go outside, one of the two. But as far as going back to the feedback from the community, one thing that I would like to see is maybe some suggestions on people that you might like to see us talk to.
Or if you want to be on the show.
Right, or if you want to be on the show. But yeah, we want to try and maybe start tailoring this just a little bit to what you guys are asking for now that we have more people listening. So throw those ideas at us. We're all ears right now.
Absolutely we are. And it's just the main reason is, guys, is this is about you. This is about the community. This is about the people. And it's not about us. So yeah, absolutely. So guys, thank you for your support. Thanks for those tip logs that have been being put on the fire. That's been amazing. Those are going to help. That being said, guys, have a great evening and a wonderful day. Peace.